and this is the launch X431 CRP919EBT bi-directional scan tool. Now it does come with this hard case with some nice heavy duty hinges, and inside of the case we have the scanner itself, and then we have accessories on this side, and I'm going to show you a closer look at each one of them. And as always, I have placed a link in the description down below to this scanner in case you'd like to get one for yourself. And included in the kit is the scanner and the VCI, which is the wireless dongle to connect to the vehicle, obd-II extension cable, power adapter with USB-C connector, and the adapter includes 3 replaceable faceplates, that way you can charge the scanner in different parts of the world, and a USB-A to USB-C cable. First off, we get a 7-inch touchscreen, and this whole thing has been encased on hard plastic, which is the center portion, but a rubberized outer casing, which does provide a good level of drop protection. The power button is located on the upper right hand corner of the unit. Again, some good rubberization on there, and there is an integrated camera in the back of the scanner. And on top of the scanner there are 2 access ports protected by a dust cover, and the very first one reveals a full-size USB port, and we also get a USB-C port. And let's begin our tour with Intelligent Diagnose. Now on this function, the scanner is going to connect to the vehicle, read the VIN, and automatically present us with options that we can choose as far as diagnostics. And now we have a diagnostic option, scan history, or quick access. Let's go inside of diagnostics. And we're given the following options: full health report, service functions, vehicle information, system selection, or customize the settings. Let's do a full health report. And what the scanner is doing is checking to see what modules are present on the vehicle and if any of them have any kind of fault codes on there. And with the scan complete, you can see that sure enough, there were a couple faults detected. The TPMS systems has 4 issues recorded on its history. The combination meter also has an issue, and same thing with the power source control. And you can see the other modules came back as normal. Now at this point, we could do a couple things with this information. We can create a report out of it, or we can choose to clear the DTCs. You could also choose to go directly into the module that has the issue by selecting it from the screen and then accessing one of these options. But also want to show that there's a couple different buttons on the top of the screen. This one's going to take you back to the home. This one gives you access to technical support. If you needed help, contact a remote technician. This one will allow you to print if you have the optional launch printer. And finally, this one will exit out of the diagnostic mode. Also notice that there are buttons in the bottom that allows us to control this like a normal Android tablet. You can see that minimizes the window. This takes us one step back. This one indicates that the scanner is connected to the vehicle, and this one allows us to take a screenshot. Going back to this screen right here, if you did not need a full health report, you are able to select an individual system. You can go directly into powertrain, you can go directly into body, and again, here you have the list of the different modules that are supported by this vehicle, chassis, and you can do this if you know where the problem is as opposed to doing a full health report. But also want to show you inside of the service function, this allows the scanner to read through the vehicle and tell you what service functions are going to be accessible to you. And for this particular vehicle, here are the different modules that have service functions inside of each one of them. And to customize the vehicle, we can use the customize setting on here and hit an OK. Again, the scanner is going to detect what can actually be customized on this vehicle. And again, one more time, we're presented with that list of those different modules that contain things that can be potentially customized. Now let's take a look at the local diagnose option. Now this option is going to be very similar to the intelligent diagnose. The main difference is that on local diagnose, the scanner does not connect to the internet to pull the VIN information. So here we can manually enter the VIN, or we can turn on the camera to read the VIN from the vehicle, or we can select it from the list like a traditional scanner. But let's go inside of system selection, and let's go inside of powertrain, and we're gonna go into ECM. And as you can see, we are given again the choice to read if there's any DTCs. There's no DTCs on the ECM module. You also have access to read freeze frame data. No freeze frame has been stored because there are no DTCs. Also, let's take a look at actuation test. And here you have a very extensive list of different things that you can control with the scanner using its bi-directional capabilities. And this list is going to vary depending on vehicle to vehicle as far as what the actual car supports and lets you control. Let's take a look at special function. here are the list of things that can be controlled with the special function for this vehicle. Now let's take a look at some live data. And here's a list of all the different parameters, the PIDs that we can potentially stream from a vehicle. And again, you're gonna have more or less on here depending on how many sensors your vehicle actually has or is equipped with, and that they can communicate back to the tool. And if you use this icon right here, you are taken to a graphical representation. And again, you have the numeric value in the upper part. And you can also graph multiple of them at the same time. In here you can see that I am graphing 8 PIDs at the same time. You could also combine multiple values to be shown within the same graph. In this case, I have combined 4 different parameters, and I'm gonna give it some gas so you can see that. That way they can be observed and compared together in the same screen. And finally, if you wanted to record the parameters for later review, you can use the record function for that. But I also want to show you what's inside of some of the other modules. For example, I'm going to go into this chassis one, and I'm going to go inside of ABS. And here again, you have the ability to read the codes from the module, the different actuation tests that may be available to you depending on the vehicle, or any special functions that that module maybe supports. Moving over to software updates, here's where you can update the scanner. This one happens to come with 2 years of updates, and you can see on here the name of the update, the current version that's on your system, and the newest one that has just been released, as well as the size of that update. And you can select only the updates that you want, or you can select all of them to update them at once by touching update. And in case you're wondering what happens when the updates stop, well, the scanner continues to work. The only thing that happens is you don't get updates anymore. Now, if you do wanted to renew that subscription to get more updates, here's where you can use that renewal option to do so. Moving over to service functions, we actually get quite a bit of them in the scanner. Everything from ABS bleeding, relearning the AC system, DPF regeneration, and I'll scroll through here so you can see how many of those are in there. Immobilizer reset, oil maintenance light reset, knock sensor reset, Windows calibration, and a ton more. And if you wanted to add specialty modules or renew the subscriptions, you can do that using the mall icon. But I want to show you the info center, and here's where you have operation tips, and this is basically instruction manuals for some of the different functions that you may want to know how to do. And for example, the Audi gearbox cloning, let's take a look at that. And here's some instructions that are going to walk us through that process required for this operation. Next up is DTC help, and this is another mini library that's available on the tool that also has additional information. Perhaps you found a code. In this particular case, let's imagine it's for the Chrysler vehicle, and I want to understand what that code is for. And here you can see that BD210, what the issue is for, and then the diagnostic processes that would be associated with diagnosing that failure. And the technology handbook is another resource that's available that again contains vehicle specific information. This time let's take a look at Acura, and you can probably spend hours, if not days, reading through all the information that this tool can potentially give you access if you really wanted to maximize your knowledge as far as vehicle diagnostics is concerned. And on the user info, you can customize things that are specific to your profile, and also the shop information if you wanted to have that information come up on the reports, and also connect to that printer to print out the reports. But there's one more icon, and that is going to be other modules, and there's quite a bit of stuff on here. The first one is going to be Toolbox. This tool can also be expanded with additional devices such as the TPMS1, the VST360, which is for testing batteries, or a video scope. Well, let's also take a look at vehicle coverage, which also includes the service modules. So I'm going to scroll through here slowly so you can see if the module that you're trying to access is on this list, or if the vehicle make that you're trying to diagnose is on the vehicle coverage list, which means it would be supported by the scanner. We are also given access to the tablet settings in case we needed or wanted to tweak those. We get a file browser and also the ability to check for system upgrades. We also have this recording master, and what this is a screen recorder in case you wanted to record the entire screen. And we also get a Chrome browser. Now what I want to do with the Chrome browser, I'm going to go to YouTube and we're going to test out the video and audio capability of this unit. And this is what the video sounds like on this tablet. Now you could enlarge it. I'm gonna enlarge and blow that screen up, which I think is pretty good. We also have that drop down on the top where we can increase the volume.
And on this video, I'm going to show you all of his features.
And we also get access to Gmail and access to the camera. And this is an 8 megapixel camera. It's super convenient to have a camera when you are troubleshooting a vehicle, and you can do both, either pictures or you can do video. And to view the videos or pictures that you might have taken, you would use the gallery for that. And the last thing that I want to show you is a couple of interesting features on the VCI connector, which is what goes to the vehicle. And the first one is that it does have indicator lights on both sides of the VCI, which is always a good idea, because if this is plugged in really deep into the vehicle, we can just look at this dongle and understand if it's getting power and if it's communicating with the scanner. And the second feature, which I think is probably even more interesting, is that this can detach on either end. Now, why would you want to detach it? Well, most vehicles are going to have an obd-II port with a standard 16-pin connector. However, if you happen to be working on a very rare specialty vehicle, especially an older vehicle, you might be dealing with a factory or specialty connector, and this is where you can swap out the obd-II connector for that specialty connector with an optional kit that Launch has available. And if using some of those specialty connectors, sometimes those do require that you inject power, and there is a provision in here to provide power when using one of those specialty connectors that require it. So remember, I place a link in the description down below to this scanner in case you want to get one for yourself. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, also put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel, and stay tuned as I have a lot more scanner reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.